Hi, I'm Mike, and this is Metro Trails. And here's Ev. And we are at the North Pemberton station on the former Pemberton and Hightstown Railroad and the Pennsylvania Railroad. The Pemberton and Hightstown became the Union transportation. We're looking eastbound here. There's a section house on the left, still has a little piece of rail going into it. This was a Union station, built in 1892 to serve both of the railroads. It replaced an earlier wooden station that was on about the same site. So the Union transportation was created, that's what we're facing right now, in 1888 to operate the former Pemberton and Hightstown Railroad that was established in the 1860s from Hightstown on the Camden and Amboy Railroad main line. The Camden and Amboy purchased a controlling interest in the line, I think in the 1870s, and then it became part of the Pennsylvania Railroad system, so they controlled it also. The Pennsylvania Railroad, this was a spur over here from the Pennsylvania Railroad's Atlantic Division, which has a South Pemberton station site as well. That station is now long gone, but that was the through route that went from Camden all the way out to Ocean Gate, crossed over the intercoastal waterway, the bay, to the Barrier Islands, and continued up to Bay Head. So this is a very historic site, had a lot of railroad history. The Pennsylvania Railroad line started in the 1860s over here as well, and it came under the control, I think, in 1878 of the Pennsylvania Railroad. So it became part of, as I understand, the Atlantic Division. Some people tell me that's not exactly the case, but either way, it was a branch that went across the state. Yeah, this is the old railroad station. And the tracks were right here behind you. Yeah, and I think it was until about 1977 or so that the Union transportation continued in operation. And the main reason that operated for as long as it did was because Fort Dix is just to the north of us. So they used it for the military purposes. And the Pennsylvania Railroad line has been scaled back over the years. There's actually sections of that are still active to the west of here, towards Camden, but it's been scaled back. I think it was in the 1960s, I want to say around 1968, a lot of the service ended here, and I think it was like 1966 across the rest of the state. Power lines and such follow some of that now. What's that, Ev? Well, my hand here, you gotta hold it. I have my hands full here. You can hold that. So anyway, there's a trail that follows this, and then there's sections of it out at Smithtown. There's sections of it that are informal trail through state forest lands. It's not a trail on this side right here, but there's actually the Union transportation. Good sections of that are trail when you get out from New Egypt to the north, and they're quite nice. And there's a little piece of it over here. If you go up to the next street and then walk down to the end, there's a section of it to the next road. It's a obscure little just mowed section of the right-of-way is now a trail. This used to be a rail yard here. Right, Ev? And then for a while, they were storing historic railroad pieces in the yard here, but the municipality made them get rid of them, citing them as eyesores. And that's a point of maybe some conflicts of interest there, where I think that having these historic pieces is a draw to an area, and it might look like kind of a mess to have these pieces of industrial history laying around, but people actually come from far away to see them. So they had to get rid of a lot of this stuff, and it was a really sad situation. So anyway, that's a little bit of what happened at Pemberton and North Pemberton Station, and thanks for watching.